This territory contains evil that must be confronted.
I am Count Ronald Swan, and I apologize for taking some time to get back to you. Indeed, this is the first set of videos I've made for this series in almost 4 months. I have, however, undergone some changes that I am testing out. Regardless, let's get back to the story of how I freed Arulco. It began with a walk around Drassen to increase my visibility of enemy forces, that I might have time to respond to any antics or shenanigans before they reach the mines or airport. In an optimal situation, I would spot the enemy first and then spread out around them, either in a semicircle or L-shape to provide overlapping fields of fire and deny the target cover. Unfortunately, my team and I directly stumbled into them and were instead forced into cover in a copse of trees while the enemy freely maneuvered around me. Lacking mobility and sight on the enemy, we were forced to increase our violence of action to counter their actions. We still had quite a weight in firepower, which was handy, and the number of the combatants involved did not shift too far out of our favor. Unfortunately, nothing particularly interesting happened here, so I'm just going to give you an overview look. I was quite rusty, knowing the hotkeys and issuing orders to the mercenaries, but they overcame my unfamiliarity with experience and violence. Eventually, it came down to increasingly longer range shots at targets either behind defensive barriers or laying flat to reduce their presence. The battle made many truths known to me. Dumpy was essentially useless, even with a medium-range firearm, and Dimitri was being used as a sack of meat to be shot. Danny was of middling effectiveness here. His strength with dual pistols really relied on close range to force the enemy to flinch or take multiple hits. It was good to get back into the swing of things, and as a warm-up fight, I couldn't have asked for better practice. The enemy donated 2 gold-plated Desert Eagles to the cause, as well as a parcel of 9mm ammunition, usable across all of my men. 2 submachine guns were also added to the arsenal. I might not use them on this core team, but they would be left at the airport for future mercs brought in to use while waiting for heavier guns. From experience, I knew that any true sniper would find close-range combat difficult. The way scopes work made it extremely obtuse to respond to attacks outside of an increasingly narrow cone. Danny was a natural counter to that as a short-range defender, but he might not always be available or around. Once a sniper team was ready, SMG sidearms would be vital for hot swaps to take care of local trouble. Which is to say, for all this time, we are tromping around these backwoods now looking for swamps. We heard that the local helicopter pilot, Skyrider, lives in a shack out this way, and there are 4 swamps up here in the northeast. Without stopping in each one personally, we wouldn't be able to locate him.
This territory contains evil that must be confronted.
On the way there, we ran into trouble, an enemy surface-to-air missile site. Rather than engage in broad daylight, I would return at a later date to take it our way, with night combat.
I think this is a place where Queen has rockets.
Yes. Get my attention. Yes. Get my attention.
Okay. What do you want? Skyrider, that's what they call me. Ain't nobody around here that can fly an egg beater like me. Sorry about being a little abrupt there. Been hanging low. Queen's looking for me to be part of her Air Force. Pay stink and the hours are long. Plus I can't stand her, on a personal level. You get me to my egg beater in Drassen Cap, and we might be able to work out some business.
Well, well, Having found the Skyrider we were looking for, I split him off with Gumpy to take a trip back to the airport, while the A-team waited out a night attack on the SAM site. It is my great regret to inform you that things did not, and rarely do, go according to plan.
There are enemy forces present in this sector.
The enemy stumbled upon us while we were resting, leading to a 2-squad battle against unknown enemies, truly awful terrain, and no clear path of retreat. If you want to know how it goes, join me next time for more Jagged Alliance 2.